Thanks to the support as a channel member, Stephen Boyd II. Well, after the least eventful transfer window of the series so far, Declan Rice was our only signing in January. We now enter the business end of the season with a very difficult Champions League first knockout round draw. Hello and welcome to part 19 of Rebuilding Barcelona. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League first knockout round tie against Inter Milan. This is the price you pay for only finishing second in your Champions League group. You get a difficult tie, although to be fair, they are only in fourth place in Serie A, quite well off the pace. But looking at the team, it still looks pretty threatening. So, I mean, it's a long way from ideal. If you have a look at some of the teams we could have faced in this first knockout round, there's a few of those that I think probably would have been preferable. Although to be fair, looking through, it's a pretty strong lineup of clubs all the way through. So maybe there isn't that much of an advantage to finishing top of your group, other than the fact, of course, you get to be away from home in the first leg, which is a big deal. I do always prefer to be that way round. I always prefer. Everybody always prefers that. I'm sure we'll get back to the Champions League in a second. Just bringing you up to speed with how things have been going outside of the Champions League. We have been winning lots of league games, as you would expect. That's why I'm tending not to show much in the way of league game in the videos at this point, because we're 16 points clear again. We've won the league the last 2 years. We've got 2 of the 3 top scorers in the division. I think it's fairly safe to assume at this point we're probably just going to keep winning the league. La Liga seems a lot weaker than I was expecting it to be. Maybe a reflection of how things are changing in real life. La Liga in general weakening a little bit in comparison to the rest of the football. I say in the rest of the football world, in comparison to Paris Saint-Germain and the Premier League. And I guess Serie A is on a bit of a comeback as well, so I'm told. But I think we're just going to keep winning this. If that changes, we'll focus in on it a little bit more. Otherwise, with a season and a half of the save still to go, our focus now is trying to win the Champions League. So Champions League, big focus. We did manage to win the Supercopa, which is super. We got knocked out of the Copa del Rey, though, by Valencia, the team we beat in the final of the Supercopa. Both the Supercopa and the Copa del Rey, this was the youngsters playing in this. These younger players have had a lovely run of football from playing all of this cup football over the last month or so. I mean, playing Gundogan out on the left wing, probably not the best idea. We were a little bit light on players for that game, but you can see Demir and Ihatara, Nico, Sandri, Baldi, Ezquieta playing in goal as well. We've had lots of players getting football over the last couple of months, which is perfect. And what is also perfect is we've managed to increase or offer a new contract, have a new contract accepted by Marc-Andre ter Stegen. He is now our permanent forever goalkeeper, still only 31 years old, so good for years yet. He is officially no longer unhappy. We've managed to tie him down to a new contract. He's come off the transfer list at his own request. And yeah, he is no more messing around with him. We're not going to try and sell him anymore. We've actually increased his salary. And I think we're at a point now where, I mean, the only reason we were ever trying to sell him is because he was one of the highest paid players at the club. Well, now we've rejigged this money structure at the club. And I think it's fine for him to be one of the highest paid players at the club, as long as we don't go beyond our £200,000 a week limit. Oh God, hang on. Let's not show you that with red on it. Obviously, we are paying a little bit more wage budget this season than we have been last season, but it's still a lot less than it was when I arrived. The debt is still shrinking with 18 months of the save left to go and a £200 million sponsorship bunch of cash due to come in over the course of the summer. I'm fairly confident we're going to do that and probably still be able to sign some players as well. So, yeah, I don't mind paying ter Stegen a little bit more money. And as you can see, we've increased some of the other contracts as well to tie some players down. Ansu Fati, Pedri, both getting new longer-term contracts. Declan Rice has come in at over £100,000 a week as well. So we're starting to reinvest a little bit more in the playing staff again as we start to think more in terms of leaving this club in a strong enough situation so that when I leave, they continue to be competitive. That's the plan. One thing we've not been able to do is bring Messi home yet. We keep trying. His contract at PSG is up at the end of the season, but he is now saying he doesn't believe Barcelona's squad is strong enough to play at a level matching his own ambitions. This is interesting because this time last year, he did discuss terms with us, but we didn't offer him enough money, so he chose to stay at Paris Saint-Germain and extend his contract there. This feeds into what I'm kind of observing happening just from playing the game, and that is we are in a bit of a decline when it comes to world football. We're still a 5-star reputation club. La Liga is still, for now, considered the second best reputation league in the game. But I think actual playing ability-wise, I don't know. We're dominating La Liga still. We've made it to 2 consecutive Champions League semi-finals. But I guess Messi can see the hidden data that I can't see, and perhaps knows that our average current ability has declined massively over the last year or two, which presumably it has. We've got rid of a lot of very, very expensive, legendary Barcelona players and replaced them with the likes of Declan Rice, who, although anyone who's played FM21 for any length of time knows Declan Rice is a superstar in this game, he probably doesn't have the same CA as Sergio Busquets, for example, who he's effectively replaced, although he came in a year after Busquets left. I don't know. Messi doesn't want to come back, though. We'll keep trying. He's not yet signed an extension with Paris Saint-Germain, so fingers crossed we can still bring Messi home for the final season. I think that would be a nice way to end the series, leaving the club financially fixed and with Messi back. That feels like the club is fully fixed to me, especially if we can win a Champions League along the way, which brings us back in to today's matches. This is the team we're putting out there for the first leg. We are at home, so we are going to be looking to win the game, get some goals past Inter and give ourselves a position to defend for the second leg. So we are pretty much full strength. If you look at the players who are unavailable, it's only Gavi, Sandri, Pedro and Isco, and realistically none of them are starters in my first 11 now. So I think this is my current best 11 players. It's ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Grimaldo, Sula, Garcia and Porro, De Jong and Rice in midfield, Depay, Pedri and Fati behind Tammy Abraham up front. We need goals. We need a big result today, because if we get knocked out in the first knockout round, not only does that make it an awful lot harder to convince Messi to come back, because it kind of proves him right, although looking at how Barcelona have been getting on in the Champions League in real life, we're doing a lot better than that. They're not even going to make it through the groups, are they? See? Paying attention. 2-3-0 defeats. Kev's watching. Kev knows. But we're also probably not going to meet the board's requirements of quarterfinal and Messi's requirements of being able to meet his ambitions, which, goodness me, you're supposed to be a Barcelona boy, Lionel. If we can afford to pay you the salary that you want, you should just come back and tip us over the edge. As you can see, I've still not taken this Streamer Showdown stuff off of the game. I think at this point, we're nearing the end of FM21. I might just leave it on as a little extended Streamer Showdown promo going into FM22. The Streamer Showdown will be back for FM22. I've won the first showdown of the last 2 games, so I expect to make that a hat-trick and become Kevy 7 times in the first showdown of FM22. As and when that happens. I don't have any more detail than that, other than the fact that, fingers crossed, I'll be playing in it. Right, Memphis shooting from range, and what a goal from Memphis Depay right on the stroke of half-time. It's his 20th goal of the season, and it's an absolute worldie. Let's just have a look at this from the other angle. Rice into Pedri. Pedri plays it into Tammy Abraham, gives it to Memphis, takes a couple of touches to go past his man, just create a little bit of space for the shot, and then just whacks it into that top corner from just on the edge of the D. I mean, we needed it. A 1-0 win even isn't enough in the first leg, but at least it has put us ahead, and put us ahead in style. If we can grab a second one in this second half, then I'll start to feel a little bit more comfortable heading back to Italy. Right, Ansu Fati is tired or injured. I didn't actually read. I just saw that bless him, his little heart's down to just a third of redness. We've got Demir on the bench. We've got Isco. Isco wasn't fully fit, though, was he? Hold on. What was up with Isco? He's some way short of full fitness. I think we probably bring Isco on and stick Pedri. No, hang on. Pedri out onto the right. Let's put it in the right direction. Yeah, do that. That makes the most sense, I think. Eric Garcia, we're not going to bring... Does anyone ever make changes because they're afraid of yellow cards? Goodness me. Right. Let's shuffle things around a little bit more. Oh, we've got some yellow cards. Probably should be afraid of those. We don't have a central midfielder on the bench, which is a little bit of an oversight. I guess Pedri and Isco could both go back there if need be. But we've got all these defenders. Why have I got all these defenders on the bench? What are we going to do here? I think we take off Pedri and bring on Demir and leave it there for now. We don't need to fiddle too much. I'm just trying to get a little bit more energy into the attack and hopefully encourage us to grab a second goal, because a 1-0 win is a little bit scary going into a second leg of a game like this. I think the final change, we're going to bring on Pedro again, just for a little bit more energy in the attack, get him on there, run about a bit. Memphis is tiring. The assistant manager is always telling me to bring Baldy on in the attacking midfield positions. I don't really understand why it would prioritise him over someone like Demir, who can actually play there. Pedro's in here. Pedro can't get it past the goalkeeper. Now would be the perfect time to score again. We scored at this point in the first half. Can we repeat the trick? Aim for Sula, Isco. We know how dangerous he can be. There is Sula, but the header is just, I think it even said in the highlight, skims the top of the bar. Very close. Not quite close enough, though. And this is, it's finally balanced going into the second leg. I think if I was Inter, I'd be pretty happy with that for the away leg, for the first leg. We've still got work to do for the second match. I'll play these La Liga games offline and I'll be back in just a moment to play the second leg for you. Well, those in-betweeny matches didn't quite go to plan. We won 2 of them, but then drew 1-1 away against Getafe. We are still well clear at the top of the league. I don't think we need to worry. Tammy Abraham now clear as the top scorer as well. Grimaldo and Depay as the 2 best players in the league. It's fine. What's less fine is we have picked up a couple of injuries since the first leg. Porro is poorly sick, so he's unavailable because I've sent him home so he doesn't infect the rest of the team. And Ansu Fati's going to be out for the next 3 weeks with a pulled calf muscle, so Gavi's still not fully fit. So not quite the same team as the first leg. Dest and Isco coming into that side with Pedri moving out onto the right-hand side. And apparently Dest is lacking match sharpness. Probably need to give him a few more games. I have been doing a lot of rotation, but I tend to... I've been kind of squeezing Papetti in at right back. Baldi can play fullback on both sides. Probably need to give Dest a little bit more football if he's struggling for match fitness for an important game like this. Hopefully, that's not going to come back to bite me. Pedri looking to get a counter-attack underway inside the first minute or so of this game, but it is cut out immediately by Inter. Of course, we are 1-0 up from that first leg, but Inter are in immediately here, and that's a little bit of a worrying sign to Stegen there to make the save, though, and Grimaldo clears it up to Tammy Abraham, who... presumably gave the ball away almost immediately because 30 seconds of game time later and Inter have got the ball back for a throw-in and they are in again here, and that is not the start we had in mind. Ferran Torres for Inter, a 19th goal of the season for him, playing up front in a diamond as well. So, or he was in the first leg. It looks like have they switched tactics? A cheeky rascal. They've got him out on the right wing this time. Well, my scouts, we need to have a word with him. He is on the right wing today, so that is a very good goal return from him. Might be someone that's worth having a look at for us. And Inter are in again here, and this is an alarming start to the game. 1-1 on aggregate now, of course, although as the away team, if we do grab a goal, we are still living in a world where away goals count in the Champions League. That is a terrible start now. We are 2-0 down on the night, 2-1 on aggregate. Still in the situation where if we go up the other end and score, we actually go ahead in the tie. But this is a long way from ideal. Demand more. We need a plan. We've not even had a shot yet. This, well, we need to regroup. Can we have half time now? Hopefully Inter will do the the good old-fashioned Italian thing of just sitting back and trying to defend the lead now and let us have a little bit more of the ball and hopefully get a breakthrough. But it's not looking like that's what's happening. If they score again here, I am starting to worry that we are actually in the decline that Messi has noticed that we're in, even though we don't notice it at all domestically, because domestically we're still dominating. The Spanish league is falling apart. It'll be interesting to see what happens to the reputations of the league compared to the other leagues at the end of the season, whether we maintain our status as the second highest reputation league, or, I mean, Serie A seems to very much be on the way back, as Inter are showing here at 4th place in Serie A at the moment and absolutely thrashing us when we're 20 points clear at the top of La Liga. Well, okay, we now need to score twice. We haven't looked like scoring once. I'm looking at the bench and I'm trying to come up with a plan. Okay, here's the plan. We're going to go to a diamond. Not that diamond, though. We don't want a vertical tiki-taka diamond. Where's my Streamer Showdown diamond? This is what we want. We're going to go to this. We're going to stick him in there like that. Shuffle everyone around. That seems to work. We need to go attacking. Have we done the team talk yet? No. Right. We're going to do that one. And we need to get ourselves back into this game pronto, because we have just been ripped apart in the first half there. And I'll level with you, I wasn't necessarily expecting it. I need to turn these long throws off. We'll turn the long throws off in a minute. This is the problem with the Streamer Showdown stuff. I have all my shenanigans on, and long throws don't really work anymore. Although Dest floats it over to Abraham, and Tammy Abraham with the header that he can't keep down. And let's turn these long throws off. We just clear the reset to default. We don't need anything fancy on throws. Just default throw-ins, please and thank you. I don't know what we can do to drag ourselves back into this. Right, the bench. We have Nico, Pedro, Gundogan, Demir. The strength in depth is screaming out at me again as not really being where we want it to be. We can bring Demir on. Depay is having a terrible game, so Pedro can come on for him. Let's get Gundogan on in midfield as well. But for who? No, let's not bring him on. Let's do this for now. We need 2 goals. 2 goals in the final 20 minutes, which isn't impossible. And that is enough to get us through. But we've just not looked like creating anything. We've not really had anything close to a decent opportunity. I feel a little bit shell-shocked at what I'm seeing. We have been absolutely battered here. I mean, the warning signs have been there in the Champions League this season. We couldn't compete with Manchester United. We struggled through the group, coming through in 2nd place. And now we've been knocked out of the Champions League in the first knockout round, which is actually below the board's expectations. We need to change this. I mean, this season's done now. We're not scoring 3 goals in these last 20 minutes or so. We need a new plan for next year, or else it's all well and good repaying the debt, which that's part A of the goal for this series. And it looks like part A it's not quite complete, but it's not going to go wrong at this point, I don't think. The debt will be repaid. But part B of the goal was stay competitive. Make sure at the end of it, we're still Barcelona. And this isn't competitive. This is embarrassing. This is the 4th place team in Italy has just made us look like a bunch of mugs. I don't even know. I did not expect this. And we don't have the strength in depth to do anything about it when it happens. Declan Rice, £54 million, most expensive player of the series so far. Absolute flop tonight. That has a financial impact as well. That's going to cost us 30 or 40 million pounds in prize money. Well, hope we get more of a budget than that. We need to buy some players. We need a plan. We'll be back tomorrow. We are going to win the league, aren't we? We are. So realistically, we'll be back tomorrow for the transfer special. We'll do transfers tomorrow. Let me know down in the comments what on earth we do. We've just lost 6-0 to Inter Milan in the Champions League. Our season is over in March. If you've enjoyed that, what's just happened? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.